Hello children, let's start with the lesson A Wall Magazine. Now what is a magazine? It is a periodical publication containing articles and illustrations. Illustrations means pictures. It is often on a particular subject or it is aimed at particular readership. So we have magazines which is dedicated to sports, or we have magazines which is dedicated or is meant only for children. Magazine can contain jokes, science corner, riddles, poems, stories, facts. It also has an advice column where we can send our problems and they will give us some advice on it. Okay, so in this lesson, we have been given an example of a magazine. Let us see what are the different topics included in this magazine. Now, in this lesson, A Wall Magazine for your class. This magazine is made by the students of Standard 6A. Students of 6A bubbled with enthusiasm all the time, be it sports, hobbies, or studies. This year, they surprised the rest of school by bringing out a wall magazine. The idea became so popular that soon there were unique wall magazines in almost every class in the school. This is what Class 6A did to plan and prepare the wall magazine. Let us see what are the things that this class did to make or create this wall magazine. First, the students and class teacher of 6A brought several children's magazines and pages of children's sections in periodicals and newspapers to the classroom. So, as sample, the teacher brought some children's magazines and other newspapers, periodicals, etc. so that the children can go through these and then they can create their own magazine. They studied the contents to see what all was included in the magazines. There was a tremendous variety: stories, poems, puzzles, riddles, craft ideas, informative articles, interesting tidbits of information, jokes, board games, book reviews, quizzes, study tips, health tips, and even recipes. There were also columns about students' achievements, doubts, and problems. These columns were run with the help of teachers or parents. After studying all the material, a discussion was held in the class to choose sections for their own magazine. It was decided there that there should be at least 4 issues of the magazines. There would be a separate team for each issue. The team would have an editor, 1 or 2 sub-editors, illustrators, and writers, those who actually copy or type the issue in beautiful letters. Anyone in the class could send contributions to the issue. The editors would select the articles to be included and the decision would be final. Thus, there would be 4 different teams to work on the 4 issues. The columns, regular features in all 4 issues were planned with the help of the class teacher. Apart from the editorial teams, more groups were made to run columns like craft ideas, recipes, I need help, science corner, etc. It was the job of these groups to collect material for their respective columns. With the teacher's help, a prominent place was fixed to display the magazine in the classroom. A long discussion was held to choose a good name for the magazine. So, how did students of 6A create this magazine? First, they saw samples of magazines and newspapers. Okay, from there, they realized that there are a number of topics that we can include in the magazine. It was decided that there would be 4 issues, which means 4 different magazines would be issued. And each issue of the magazine would be under a different team. So 4 teams were created, and in each team there was an editor. There would be 1 or 2 sub-editors. What was the work of editors? They had to select which articles would be included in the final copy of the magazine. Then there would be illustrators or artists who would make this magazine beautiful. There will also be writers who would write down the articles. Now, anyone from the class was allowed to send their contributions to the issues. Now, they decided that there would be different columns in the magazine, and each column would be under a particular team other than the main team, which consisted of the editor, the sub-editors, the illustrators, and the writers. There were other teams dedicated to each column. And what was the job of this team? It was to collect material. So they would collect material and then they would give it to the editors, who would then finalize what goes in the magazine. Now they also decided a place where they could display the magazine inside the classroom. And this was done with the help of the teacher. Now in the textbook, they have given us examples of what was included in this magazine. Let's see what are these examples. The first one is jokes. Okay, so the first column was jokes. The second one was a science corner, and in the science corner the question was, why do water tin sheets become hot in the sun but not a tree? So they selected a question and then they gave the explanation for that. The next column was an advice column, where if children have any difficulties or any problems, they could send it to this group who was in charge of this column, and they would get them help or they would get them the required advice. The next column is rhyme and rhythm. It was called rhyme and rhythm. It included poems, it included songs. Okay, so they tried to make it interesting and attractive. You see, there are a lot of pictures and there are a lot of drawings done in this magazine. So a magazine includes a number of different articles or a number of different columns. Okay, and depending on the column, they write different articles on the basis of that. Children, you will not get any questions on a wall magazine for your class, but you do have to prepare a magazine, scan it and upload it on the website. So go through your textbook and try to understand what are the different topics or what are the different columns. Okay, but there will be no question and answers, but you will have to submit an assignment on this lesson, a wall magazine, for your class. So children, with this we complete explanation for this lesson. Thank you for listening. Goodbye and take care.